Bill, the 12-car rookie Ryan Newman, running in the 15th position. What a day they've had. They've been at the back. They've worked their way to the front. The race car, like a lot of other guys, tight. They came in for a gas and go. Back on lap 152. They're talking about what adjustments to make on their next stop, but he's still tight up off the corner, Dave.
Matt, Jamie McMurray's goal is to keep the 40 car in the owner's points. More on that another time. But that's why he's racing. He can't win a driver's championship, but he's keeping it in the owner's points. His day sounds like a broken record. Tight, track bar adjustment, tight, wedge adjustment, still tight, more wedge. Lap 173 radioed in. The car is still tight. Bill?
We talked about Dave Blaney earlier, waiting for the breakthrough race. This may be it, then again, maybe not. Blaney, tight in 1 and 2, gets tighter every lap, so they'll have to work on that. He's about 18 and a half seconds behind the leader. How about the 44, Marty?
Well, I know someone is on his Christmas card list, Kurt Busch, for helping him get his lap back for number 1. Jerry Nadeau's had a pretty good run. The car has not been that bad. The reason he was at the back of the field, a 23-second pit stop on their first stop of the day. That got him back there, but the car has not been too bad. They tested Atlanta earlier this week. Really helped out here, Dave.
The car pumpkin has not been the great pumpkin so far for Kevin Harvick. Early on, he radioed in that he had no front grip. Recently, he's radioed in that he has no rear grip. This thing is really acting like a bad squash right now. Marty?
Ward Burton's been fighting an ill-handling race car all day long, Dave. It's bounced back and forth between loose and tight. He was very uncomfortable on the last set of tires. They took advantage of the caution, took on 4 tires. They gave him an adjustment. He's much better. They started 27th today. That's nothing for Ward. Here in the spring, or this race last year rather, started 26th and finished 3rd. Pass on the track.
3rd place.
Rusty Wallace takes that 2 car to 3rd by Kurt Busch. Well, I said that.
Not so fast.
Wasn't he in front of him?
Yeah, but he could not get on the gas. I think if he got on the gas like he wanted to, the car was going to push. So Rusty had to wait until he felt that car was going to stick and then get back on the gas. In the meantime, Kurt was up on the high side in the gas.
I got to interrupt you guys. Developing story. Jimmy Johnson thinks he's going to lose an engine. Just radioed in. I think it's going to blow. That's the 48 car.
Oh, man.
Running 9th right now.
But what's that tight, guys?
Joe Nemechek went to the garage. Engine failure on the 25 car. First of the 100 cars to go out of the race. Remember last week, all 6 cars in the Talladega race went out with engine failure. Benny showed you what happened to them.
Except the vibration, and it does it through the corner. Don't grab it straight away. It's this time. It's this time.
Hit this.
Just stand, just keep this rhythm. We got to stay out.
I was going to say, I wouldn't want to be coming in. In case the vibration is not an engine.
I don't want you to bust your ass out there.
I'm just concerned that it might be a loose wheel.
And I think that's the concern down here too, Benny. Maybe he just felt that vibration, thought it was in the engine compartment.
Well, you know, Bill, they're only, what, 9 laps from lap 200. There's some guys going to start to come in at lap 200 for pit stops, right?
That's right, because there are about 8 cars here out of sequence with the rest of the field.
And if they stop at 200, well, it's going to be close to make it the rest of the way. Then they got to run.
Well, 67 and 67.
Yeah. And I'm not sure he can. Some cars can, but...
All right, we're up against time. We need to take a commercial break. Something happens to Jimmy Johnson. We'll break out of the commercials, cut back to it live for you. Bobby Labonte leads, coming up on 300 miles here at Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte. Back live, Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte. Like we told you, something's up with the 48. Here we come. Jimmy Johnson's on pit road under the green flag. Just a moment ago, Matt Kenseth was on pit road under the green flag. We'll follow the Kenseth story in a minute. First, Bill, how about Jimmy Johnson?
Well, we're going to find out exactly what the problem is coming down pit road. They're going to change 4 tires. The lefts look okay. Can't see the right side. They got a wedge wrench in there to make a wedge adjustment, trying to loosen that car up a little bit. These cars getting tighter as the race goes along. Around to the left side, it's a 4-tire stop under green. This puts him out of sequence with the rest of the field. He needs this race to stay green, but if it's just a tire and not a motor, that's much better.
Well, he's got a problem, Bill. If it stays green, I'm not sure he can make it the rest of the way on another stop.
Yeah, but if the caution comes out, he's really going to be in trouble. He needs it to stay green through this sequence, and then the caution to come out so they can all work back to the same lap.
There again, I agree with that.
Now, I told you Matt Kenseth pitted from second spot while we were in that commercial break. Check it out. Look ahead from Elliott Sadler's car. Watch the stuff coming flying at you.
Down in turn 1, and we see that right front tire starting to come apart. A piece flew off of him, and he was able to make it to the pits before he tore up too much like Bill Elliott did when his right rear came apart.
So, ditto for Kenseth like we were just talking about for Jimmie Johnson. Needs the race to stay green while everybody else comes in for a pit stop. Then he'll be back in cycle. Caution comes out now. It's going to catch him way behind. And speaking of that cycle of stops, leader Bobby Labonte last pitted at 1:31, so it's not going to be all that long before we see him in. Maybe another 5-6 laps. 8th place here.
If you still feel that vibration, we're going to have to bring it in and fix it. If you still feel it, we're going to have to bring it in and fix it. It's all gone. Everything's fine.
I think it had a loose tire.
And left rear, Benny, left rear, the lug holes are out of round, so the left rear was loose.
So fingers crossed on that car that everybody else pits before the caution flag comes out.
And this place, being as rough as it is, with the bumps down the backstretch and then 3 and 4, will loosen things up more than some other places.
And the left rear is always going to be the one that loosens up first, because the tire trying to spin forward is trying to loosen the lug nuts up. You tighten to the right, the wheel spins to the left.
Right. Ricky Rudd, Michael Waltrip just made green flag pit stops. Jimmie Johnson showing now in 30th place. You see Rudd coming back up to speed off the apron of the track just behind Johnson onto the speedway. So the strange twists of tail that has been the chase for the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship takes another little diversion here in Charlotte today, for the 48 car anyway.
But as you talked about just a moment ago, if we can get to all the other cars making their pit stops and go through the entire cycle, and then the caution flag come out, these guys will be okay.
Other thing where it may complicate life for the 48 car is fuel mileage. If the race goes green from here to the finish,
then he's in trouble, because he's got to stop twice more, where most cars will only stop once.
Johnson has led 66 laps on 3 different occasions today, and now finds himself way back in 27th spot. Kurt Busch has led 46 laps. Bobby Labonte with a strong time out in front right now. He's been out in front for 45 laps.
Okay, 10-4, we'll take care of it.
That's Matt Kenseth's radio.
What did he say? Right front settle?
Here comes Labonte coming off turn 4 down pit road to Matt Yoakum.
Well, Benny, when was the last time you heard Bobby Labonte say, "I don't need anything, just 4 tires"? It's been a long time. Bobby Labonte having a great day. It's exactly what they're going to do. They're not going to make any adjustments to the Interstate Batteries Pontiac, which will become a Chevrolet next year. Peter Gillen reaching for the second can of gas as Todd Meredith comes around and grabs the left front. Jason Lee pumps 2 pumps on the jack. They get the left side tires on. Barry Cook done today.
Matt, Jeff Burton, and crew chief Paul Andrews discussed what to do with the car. Jeff said this time it got a lot tighter, but we have a lot more laps on these tires. It gets tight that way, so no changes on the 99. Just 4 fresh tires and full of fuel.
Great stop for Bobby Labonte. Did you see that? 13.8.
Quick. Almost got the BP money there.
Mark Martin down pit road.
These guys, the guys that didn't pit there and stayed out for the track position earlier, Matt, they're in now.
Well, Mark Martin finally comes in for service. Remember, we told you he's been fighting a tight race car most of the day. They're going to make a chassis adjustment. This was their scheduled pit stop. Already around to the left side of the race car. They're also going to make an air pressure adjustment to try to help Mark fix that tightness. Service complete on the 6. to Bill.
And down pit road, Tony Stewart will make the trip. Just about 3 laps to go. He told crew chief Greg Cipotelli, it's real tight. So now he pulls into his stall. They never have pulled that spring rubber out of the left rear to help loosen up the car. It just takes too long. So they're going to make another wedge adjustment. Right side tires, wedge wrench still in there. The catch can man makes the adjustment. That's a long reach. You got to be a tall guy to make that move. Lug nuts going on, fuel spill. He's on his way, Dave.
Rusty's in, car a little bit tight, wedge adjustment. They're going to change 4 tires on this car. They asked the NASCAR official with a hand motion that looked like wax on, wax off if we could have a windshield guy. He said no. Rusty has the same windshield on there. Marty?
We talked about the track position Jeff Gordon gave up to make that chassis adjustment. It paid off. He was in 4th when he came down pit road, barely tight. Matt?
Kurt Busch in on his last stop. No adjustments. This time the car had gone to the tight side, so they made an air pressure adjustment in the right front, Bill.
They make a big chassis adjustment on Dale Jarrett, who told Todd Parrott, tight off, tight off. He's got fuel tires, a new ride on his way.
New leader's Dale Earnhardt Jr., and he might have another 15 laps or so before he has to stop, because he came in the lap 152 caution when all these other guys we've been watching pit did not.
And Junior, since they made that last tire change and made the chassis adjustment, has been very fast. Had worked his way up to 3rd position. Okay, here's Dave Blaney and Bill.
And we can watch this crew go to work, and they've had good pit stops throughout the year. Just need to put the whole package together and finally get Blaney to victory lane. Ryan Pemberton keeps saying, I'm hoping it's this week, I'm hoping it's this week. May not be today, but getting closer. It's 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment for Dave Blaney.
All kind of trouble on that right front. Got the stop off to a bad start and ended up being 20 seconds.
And there goes the leader by. You see Ricky Craven just coming off the pit road as well in the Tide ride.
Ever see Junior down the backstretch, 8,500, almost 9,000 RPMs. Down to around 7,000 in the middle of the corner as he goes by Kenny Wallace. Dave Burns.
And Kevin Harvick is in pumpkin. They are going to make a chassis adjustment wedge on the left rear. They're going to change 4 tires. Crewman trips on the way around, but picks himself back up and goes for the left rear. Continues the stop and is going to get Kevin out of here in good shape.
Smoking those tires. Marty?
And Jerry Nadeau's found his way into the top 10. The car's pretty good, just a little bit tight. They do make an air pressure adjustment in the right front tire. He wanted a bottle of water. They do have a chance to get their first top 10 of the season in this car. Jerry's best finish in the 44 car, 21st at Bristol. They could do much better today. Nice stop for these guys.
Running order shuffling while the round of green flag pit stops is ongoing. The 3 who have not stopped that are atop the leaderboard: Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jamie McMurray, and Ryan Newman. Getting word from pit road to expect Dale Jr. this time by. He presents himself in turn 4 and hangs the left.
Okay, now 55. 50? 45. 45. That's forever.
That is forever.
We would throw it to Bill Weber, but it would take him 5 or 10 minutes to get there. Bill?
And then Bill would have to talk and talk and talk and talk.
Oh, hang on up there for a second, would you?
Okay.
Here's Junior. He's got pit road pretty much all to himself. Slides to a stop. The adjustment they made 2 stops ago, and we saw him make that huge wedge adjustment, has really helped out. Not expecting any chassis adjustments at all on this stop. It's just tires and pack the fuel cell. Pack it full. It's full. He's got tires, and the Bud Chevy heads back out into the race.
And Bill, I saw $700 go flying right out of my pocket there. I just knew this was going to be 12-something.
He jumped to his feet.
What'd you get, BP?
13-7.
13-7.
And he did too. He jumped out of the chair in the
seat. Grabbed his head. Oh no!
All right, so Junior rejoins the chase, leaving Jamie McMurray and Ryan Newman as the 2 leaders who have not made a stop on this round yet. There's McMurray. He is the race leader. How about that? 2nd ever Winston Cup race. He's leading laps.
Getting 5 bonus points for Chip Ganassi and Felix Sabatis, the owners of this car.
Bobby Labonte will maintain the lead once those 2 guys stop. And we're closing in on the finish. 120 laps to go here in Charlotte.